Putas and cabrons, welcome back to Sincerely Ramis. So today I'm coming to you guys with a video on T.I. and Tiny. Now, this story has been circulating for about a week or so, and I've been wanting to cover it, but I just did a bunch of traveling and things like that. So I'm back home in my own space. I can film, and to be honest, I left my camera here, so that's really the real reason why I did not film. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it. So this whole situation with T.I. started because a young lady named Sabrina, she's also known as Glam University on Instagram, came out and said that she was assaulted by T.I. She said that he allegedly pulled a gun out on her. So I think what prompted Miss Sabrina to come out with her allegations was that Miss Keisha Bottoms of Atlanta, she's the mayor of Atlanta, she gave T.I. some type of award or recognition for something, and it, prompted Sabrina like, hey, why are you recognizing this man in such a positive manner when he's been victimizing the black community? So after Sabrina made that allegation on her Instagram, about 30 people in the matter of 24 hours, 30 women, 30 different women came out and shared their stories about how they were sexually assaulted. And I'll go put some of the video, some of the pictures and screenshots of some of the things that I've seen on the screen here. So I want to talk about a few things. In the midst of these allegations being released, some of my favorite, well, only one of the celebrities that were named in it is one of my faves. So Lauren London was named in some of this nonsense. Shakana, what else what's the other lady's name? Oh, Lil Wayne's ex-wife, Toya, and my fave Candy Burris. She was also named in this scandal. So basically some of the allegations that the women were putting out were like sex trafficking, coercion, sexual assault, sexual abuse, and some girls even reported that they were violently, physically abused in some manner during these sexcapades. So basically, in a nutshell, from the pictures that I submitted and entered on here on the video, basically the narrative behind all of the different stories, so they all kind of had like a common theme. You were picked up by T.I. and Tiny. Maybe they had somebody in their entourage come over to you and invite you to come to their place, whether it was for sex or a private party for you to dance if you were a stripper. And long story short, you would come to whatever facility or venue that they told you to come to. To get inside, you would have to take drugs. They would take your phone, and then you go inside, and then there's a whole sexcapade, and at some point you have sexual intercourse with them or other people in the party. But the problem with a lot of the women was they were being told that they were sign up to do sexual things with T.I. and Tiny, but then they get there, then they were kind of like persuaded, coerced, and tricked into having sex with other individuals, which is illegal. Paying for sex anyway is illegal in the state of Georgia, so that right there just is enough. Also, some of the allegations were involving underage girls, so there's been some talks about sex trafficking. And when I was looking and doing my research on this matter, a lot of the people who were in the celebrity world, who are in Hollywood and things like that, they say that this kind of thing has been floating around the rumor mill for quite a while. Maybe not so much the abuse, but it's been around in the rumor mill that T.I. and Tiny like to have these big orgy parties, right? And that's something that I've even heard too, and I'm not a celebrity or anything close to it. Also, then you have people who have been named in it, like Candy Burris, and I'm so sad that she's been named in it because she's really one of my favorite people. Business-wise, I look up to her life because she's very, very successful, and I like, oh, that's awesome. So I admire her in that way. She has talked about publicly on the show Real Housewives of Atlanta that her and her husband like to dibble and dabble with other individuals in the relationship, whether it be men or women. I don't know. She didn't really specify, but she did say she's in a threesomes and things like that. So that kind of fits the narrative. Um, so basically, I just wanted to talk. I didn't want to talk about the allegations in particular. Like I gave you guys the gist and all that, but I wanted to just talk about some of the comments and things that I've been seeing people talk about behind the scenes or in discussion of the whole idea of this thing happening all together. And I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So one of the things that I've seen that has really been annoying me is, you know, why go to Sabrina, aka Glamour University? Why not go to the police? Why take it to social media? Why not go to the police? For one, you don't know, I don't know, we don't know whether or not these women have also sought out legal counsel. You don't know if they went to the police department and made any type of inquiries on what they can do to seek justice. I feel like people are automatically jumping the gun and thinking, hey, these people just jumped on a bandwagon and jumped on the internet and just, started to hop on Sabrina's bandwagon. I think, too, also, people are saying, why are you going on social media? I feel like, why not? Social media is a platform that can allow you to reach, that can allow you to get some sort of information out to thousands, millions of people at the click of a button. It's like seconds, milliseconds. I feel like people are also saying, why take it to social media? I feel like the thing that people forget is that social media is responsible for a lot of the exposure that we have today. And it's also responsible for how quick we are able to digest and get access to information. So I'll put it to you like this. Would you rather go spend hours at a police station giving a report, or just spend 5 minutes writing a very short post about something that happened to you and now millions of people know in, let's say, the matter of 5 minutes, right? So I think, too, people, like I said previously, people are assuming that these girls have not gone to the authorities. They have assumed this, that, and the third. How do you know that they were not silenced by anybody in T.I. and Tiny's camp? I'm not saying that's the case, but you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows what these girls have encountered or what they're going through or why they are taking the routes that they are taking. And I feel like, too, in particular with these allegations, I feel like although all of them may not be true, because there are a lot of, at this point, a week into it, there are a lot more girls that have come forward. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't believe that every single story that probably was put out is true, but I do think that some things happened. And I feel like, too, when you read, because I took screenshots of the things that the girls wrote into Sabrina. I took screenshots of them. They were very detailed, and like I said, a lot of them all said the same thing. And it's not like they said the same thing verbatim. They were saying different, they were saying the same thing happened to them in just different settings and different manners. One girl was saying how she went there. She thought she was going to go have a, threesome or whatever have you with T.I. and Tiny. She gets there. They make her take drugs. In order to get there, they take her phone. And she wakes up and her anus and her vagina is hurting. And she doesn't know what happened to her. Like, she had no recollection of what had taken place that night. You have some girls saying that they got STDs, allegedly, from T.I. They're saying that they got herpes. There's just so many different things in there. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing is victim shaming. Oh, these girls are just saying that because he's famous. Oh, these girls probably wanted this. These girls wanted to F their way to the top. I feel like what's trippy about this whole celebrity life is, and I said this about R. Kelly, I said this about Harvey Weinstein, I said this about freaking even Bill Cosby. You are entertainers, right? People will flock to you. People will have sex with you. Things like this will happen. Things like this can happen. Once you get more money, you open up your access to different things. So I feel like if these 30 girls who came up the first 24 hours came to you willingly, you didn't need to go sneak them Molly water or force them to take drugs and things like that. I know it will probably loosen a person up, but I feel like, too, that's kind of what got you in the predicament that you're in. So if you would have kept the drugs out of it, you can say this person was 100% coherent. This person agreed to it. This person did not say no. They didn't say stop, this, that, and the third. If you're talking about, sound-minded, able-bodied human beings. But once you start to introduce drugs and things, that's how it gets tricky. That's where the gray areas come into play, because you get some girls who saying you walk in the door and they give you Molly or they give you Coke or something like that, right? But then you ask them for something to drink, and then unbeknownst to you, you didn't drink Molly water. You didn't consent to taking that, you know. So now you all tripped out or whatever the case may be. And they're saying there was one particular person who was coming out saying, you know, that any liquids in the vicinity of this place had some type of drug in it. So if you were just thirsty and you wanted to pick up something to drink, you were in, you know, you were putting more drugs into your body. You were ingesting more drugs and you didn't even know that. So I think that it's okay to have these big orgies if that's what you're into, with consenting adults. I just think that the whole thing with the drugs kind of is what's making it messy. And I don't find this hard to believe, because remember when Ti and Tiny's, I guess, tour bus or whatever got pulled over, and Tiny had all those drugs in her panties. These were the same kind of party drugs that were described to be using, and she had an abundance of it. So it kind of, maybe they were preparing for a night of fun, and this just speaks to the fact that there's always drugs involved. There's a bunch of liquor. There's a bunch of coercion. There's a bunch of girls. Sometimes underage girls. They were saying he was taking phones and not giving them back, and like girls were being stranded, crying, saying they wanted to leave, and then he's kicking them out, calling them all types of bitches and hoes, and putting his hands on people. You know, hence why the whole thing even started, because he tried to, he allegedly pulled a gun out on Sabrina. I just think all in all, I just wanted to make this video really, really quick. I think all in all, VH1 did a very good job with, I feel like, stopping production. I feel like, you know, normally when sex allegations or anything that surrounds sex violence, companies kind of like slow gas with trying to reprimand the people that they have contracts with. But I feel like VH1 Viacom, they did a really, really great job at getting ahead of this thing by stopping production, because you don't want to keep the thing going. You know, like you stop their money now, because then you maybe, you know, you put a halt to it now, it'll kind of prevent, it'll have a trickling effect. It will prevent them from being able to have that same money, the same access to those different girls. Can you imagine what would have happened if the allegations against R. Kelly was taken seriously when the freaking sex tape first came out? If they would have stopped his money then, stopped his tours then, stopped all of his, you know, all of his money and all of the tours and things like that, he would not have been able to 15-20 years later keep victimizing girls. Same thing with Harvey Weinstein. If he was taken down early in his career and banned from Hollywood, he wouldn't have so many victims. So I think this is a great start. I'm really sad that it had to be a black man, a young black man who has been out as a public figure in the industry for a very long time. I hate that it had to be him, but I mean, if you're doing monstrous things, then you have to reap what you sow. So I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a quick little tidbit about what's going on with T.I. and Tiny. And my girl Candy Burr is kind of getting dragged into it, saying that she is in the know of what's going on and what has been going on with them for years. So if you guys have any questions or you guys want to just talk about it in the comments, feel free, and I'll get back to you guys there. Hit me up on social media. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.